We are going to start with one of my favorite things on Indian dance, or even say Indian life, which is the neck movement. It's called griva. Griva comes from Sanskrit, and it's written in Natya Sastra. So it's one of the main books that we have as Indian arts. So this griva means neck movement, which is, it could be many different neck movements. And in India, I don't know if you've been in India, they really use it a lot, like saying yes or no, they use the neck. So it's a really important movement to create these aesthetics that we are talking about India. So the first movement that we are going to work on, it's Sundari movement. Sundari means pretty, beautiful, and it's a side to side movement. So what is important here is to find where the movement comes from, right? So, because it's not the same if I do this or if I do this, right? What I want us to do is to draw this line perpendicular to the floor, which means I'm going to go to one side and then the other as much straight as I can. And I always like to think that the movement comes from here. So just this tiny, tiny point down of the ear. I don't know if you can see, I hope so. So here, right? So the movement comes from here. So to do this, what we are going to do is Chandrakala mudra. Is this mudra not important for now? It's like bam, 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 or smile. So we are using this one towards like switching it down and placing it on the shoulders, and the index finger, it's pointing out where I want us to move, right? You can see it. So it's a side to side movement, and index, it's pointing out where I want us to move. Okay, so let's start moving the neck. And please don't forget your smile, because otherwise this movement becomes a little bit weird, like trying to move from our mouth smiles. So just keep it clean, smile a little bit, and enjoy the movement with your neck. Okay, first of all, elbows out, please, and shoulders on place. Just from here, I'm gonna move back. You see that's the shape. It's very straight, right? So from the center to the right, coming back to center, and then to left. We are going to use 4 beats to go and come back. So it's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2. Ready? 2, 3, center. 1, 2, 3, center. 1, 2, 3, center. 1, 2, 3, grow tall, smile, center. So you have to push your neck to the side, and 1, center. 1, center. 1, center. So this is a tiny movement. To try to train it, you have to push it a little bit farther, make it tight and strong. Breathe in. If your arms are tired, you can rest them down. So pointing out the finger, which help us to understand where the movement comes from, but you don't really need it if you don't want, so whatever you prefer, okay? Adapt the movement to your own feeling. Okay, without the center will be 1 and 1, side to side. 1. Smile, change your smile. Ready? We are going to double this. Double. So keep it strong, side to side movement. Visualize where the movement comes from and keep breathing. Double. Yeah. Bigger smile. 6, 7, 6, 7. Release. Okay. So for a second, just let's stretch together. Going down a little bit, and then from the back, go taller. Let's repeat this without the mudra. So hands on place, let's say hips, for example, and we are going to go 2, center, 2, 1, 2. Maybe you find it a little bit more difficult. Let's try for fun. 2, 1, 2, center. And then 1, center, 1, center, 1, center, 1, center. Good job. Okay, so let's try it now without the mudra. Okay, so the movement is gonna be the same. The movement is gonna be the same, but maybe a little bit more difficult because you're not touching where you're going to move. But if you need it, bring it back. Okay, so I'm gonna move a little bit forward, but maybe you can just come back to the beginning. It's okay. It's totally okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, and center. 1, 2, 3, and center. Smile. It really helps. Believe me. 1 and center. 1, center. Center. Keep it strong. Keep it tight. And at the same time, relax. As everything else, right? In dance. 1, center. So now without the center. 1, 1, 1, 1. Bravo. Good job. Ready for double? Yes. Shoulders on place. That's very important. That's why we keep elbows out as a classical kind of posture, because it's like you're telling your body that you're working, still working, so don't be kind of like not a dancer. So we stay in place, ready for dance. Breathe in, because we're gonna go double. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, double. Breathe. 6, 5, 6, 7, relax. If you need to stop at some point, go ahead and stop. You can pause me and then see later, whatever you need, okay? So let's stretch again. Now we are gonna move forward and down, placing your hands on top of your head and giving a little bit of weight to your head. And bring it back. Let's inhale. And exhale down, hanging down again. Say yes, no, and roll it up. Yay, bravo. Okay, so the next thing that we are gonna work on, it's this, again, one of my favorite things. Actually, everything that we are gonna work on are my favorite things. I really love India, so I'm trying always to pick up what's the most interesting things to fuse, because when you're trying to do Indian fusion dance or Indoriental dance, in that case, what you want to see, it's the looking. You sometimes don't need to be like Bollywooding if you don't want, but at least maybe you do a pose, I don't know, let's say this one, and you just add a couple of things that made it look, I don't know, more Indian, right? So that's about Indoriental dance, and now I'm presenting you Drishti. Drishti is a eyes movement. So there is a couple of tips here to move your eyes. Okay, I'll try to explain it as better as I can. Yes. So for Drishti movement, one of the most important things is to arrive until the end of your movement, which is side to side, right? And look at this. It's not the same if I do this movement like this. I'm doing side to side, I promise. But gaze is down. Now I'm gonna do side to side, but just here on my sides. Side to side. It's working, but the best option for that one, it's gonna be looking the gaze, it's gonna go a little bit to the angle, just a little bit. So it's side, front, and side up, right? And then front again, and just a little bit side up. Okay, no, I'm not going to until the end of my possibilities, which means this is really side up, but I'm saying just try not to reach the medium part of the movement, reach it a little bit more up, just raising it a little bit more, right? So my gaze, that's the middle, it's going to go from there to center and then there. And the other tip is don't blink in the middle of the movement. So try, if it's possible, to blink on the sides, because then if you blink on the middle, you're cutting the movement. Look at this. You see? So try, if it's possible, to blink at the end of the sides. So we do a complete movement, which is going to be side, front, and side, and front and side. Okay? So let's start by just closing the eyes and touching and relaxing a little bit the eyeball, which is very important because I don't know if you are used to work with the gaze, but it's a matter of training as the rest of the body. Just very gentle pressing and moving the eyeball a little bit. Okay, relax, open. And I'll try to stay here with you, but if you're doing the movement, you won't see me. So try to understand what I'm saying, and it's going to be side to side, because I don't care if it's right or left, but we are going to do the same kind of training drill as we were doing with the neck. So it's going to be center. It's going to be center to side, and then center, and then side, and then center, and then I will say side to side, which means you're passing through the center but not staying on the center. Okay? And then I'll say double. That's it. Let's try together. There we go. And please try to smile again. Otherwise, this is so weird. It's gonna be weird anyways. Gaze is fixed on center. Try to breathe and relax the rest of the body. So we're gonna go side and center. Side. You can blink, and center, you can blink as well. Side, two, center, two. Two, center, two. Ready? So without the center. One, two. One to the other side. One, two. One, two. We have 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and side. 1, moving 2, 3, and side. 1. Once more. Blink. Now in 2. 1, 2. Breathe 2. 2, get ready to double it, which means 1 and 1. And 1, 1. I'm not blinking all the time. I'm trying to keep the movement, and when I need it, I blink. 2, 1, 2. 2, 3, and relax. Bravo. Okay. So that was amazing. Thank you so much. You can repeat it if you want. Just go back and repeat the movement. Basically, you have to get used because we utilize the gaze to see where we are dancing, right? But at some point, maybe it's super interesting that you stop and just hold it, and or maybe with the neck. We are gonna work on neck and gaze right now. So you have to train it to become as an integrated movement, and you're not gonna use it all the time, but at some point, a beautiful gaze can be the detail on your dance. Now to mix it with the neck, I'm gonna say that the neck and the gaze they are going to work together. So they are going to go to the same direction. If my neck is going to the right, my gaze is gonna go to the right, and then they come to center, center together, and then left. You see? So if we go from one side to the other, my gaze and my neck are going together. So let's try these movements together a little bit for a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, center, 4. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, center, 4. Okay, that's the first one. 2, 3, get ready, and 1, 2, 3, center, 4. Smile. Okay, without the center would be 1, 2, 3, other side, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 times to do side to side movement. 4. Now in 2. 1 side, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Ready? 1 and 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. Keep breathing. Let's do it double. Strong movement. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and relax. Good job. What is important here is to keep the movement. So even if it's a little bit weird, it feels strange, keep going because it's a matter to train it, okay? So relax your eyes for a little bit and your neck as well. So the next movement that we are going to work on, it's called Bangi. It's another principle from Indian aesthetics. Bangi means bend on the body. So Bangi could be just a couple of bends on the body, or we have many bends in a DC. I'm thinking like a Caldelia one, for example. So which means is we are working in how our body reacts, moves, and by bending one aspect of our center, we can find already very fast a different shape on the body, right? So I'm centered, and now I'm doing a bend on my torso, and then lately you can see the bend on the body. So the Bangi that we are going to work with, it's torso chest movement side to side. You can work with your ribs if you want, or the transverse muscle. So you're pushing side to side as much as we were pushing side to side our neck and our gaze. So you have to feel that the line, the center line of the body, and we are moving through the sides, right? But somehow we keep the stillness, this center line that we were working on and talking at the beginning of the class. So try to feel it and reach up and ground it and be grounded on the floor. So we are moving our torso or even our hips side to side, but feeling the center line. So when we are working with our chest, it's a ribs or transverse activation, pushing to the sides, but be careful because what I don't want us to move is the shoulders. Otherwise, we are going to work in a different way. So we just want to be side to side in this perpendicular, parallel to the floor, sorry. So in this perpendicular line. And the same thing with the hips. So it's gonna be a side to side movement, just tiny side to side movement, using again the transverse muscles and pushing with the hips to the side and keeping the straight line towards the ceiling. Okay, so let's move our chest and hips for a little bit. Okay, inhale up and exhale and release, and search for this center line. Place hands on your hips and be ready. Keep breathing, and we're gonna go to the side, center, side, center, same thing. Ready? 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 1, and center. 1, 2, shoulder blades on play, center. 1, 2, bending the knees just a little bit. Center. 1, 2, center. 2, 1, center, 1, center, and 1, center. Just arrive until the end of your movement and come back to center. Center. 1, without the center. So it's side, 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 side. Straight line, parallel to the floor. Double. Try to imagine the motion points of your movement are here on the sides again, like if we were pointing out again, like here, here. Ready, breathe in, and double. Tiny, tiny, fast, tiny, shoulders in place. Breathe in. 5, 6, 7. Same thing with the hips. 1, 2, 3, and center. 1, 2, 3, and center. And 1, 2, 3, center. 1, 2. Enjoy the depth of the depth. 2 of this movement. 2, 1, center, 2. 1 and 1. 1, center. 1, center. So we keep straight on this line. Smile. Without the center, would be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Ready for double? 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, double. Tiny movement, strong center, breathe in, balance. Ready? 5, 6, 7, double. Side to side. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and release. Bravo, good job. So now, the last thing that we're going to work together is to mix everything that we have done, but in a very specific way, which is the oppositional principle in Indoriental dance that comes from Indian classical aesthetics, and I would say Indian classical arts in general, because you can see also this kind of principle in architecture, for example, on paintings, dance, of course. So how we draw the lines on the body, it's very specific. So we are working with these oppositional movements, which are, if I take the center of my movement, the chest, if my chest is going to the right, then my neck, it's gonna balance the line, the center of the body, going to the left. And then my hip is gonna go as well to the left. So you see we have center, and again, everything moves. And center, and boom. So if I want to put the gaze on top of that, gaze it's going to follow the neck, which is, look at this, then center, and then other side, and then center. As you can see, it's very tiny. The movement is tiny, but I'm arriving until the end of my range of motion. So think if it's here, but arrive. So I don't want us to do these kind of movements where continuing on time, like projecting movements. This is a projected movement. I still arriving all the time. No, what I want us to be is precise. So if that's as much as I want to move, okay, perfect. And then center, and then other side, and then center, and then other side. So let's take the chest as our center for our movement, and we are going to say chest to the right, so head, it's gonna go to the left, and then of course hips are going to the left. We come back to center and we switch, and center and switch. So you can also have this feeling that I really want to change the weight of the body. It's okay at the beginning if you want. It's gonna help you, and I'm fine with it. But as much as you get it, try to keep it on place, because then at some point we're going to move. So we want to be free in our foot and our weight. Okay, so I'll play some music, but let's always think chest to the right, so which means neck and gaze, if you can, to the left, and hip to the left. We come back to center, and then other side, and we come back to center and other side. Okay, let's try together for a while. Okay, breathe in and bring a namaste to your chest and keep it here, pressing both hands towards the other. So we are creating this very tight shape here, and I think it's nice to not move the shoulders and feel the center of the body. Bending your knees, take care of your posture. 6, chest to the right, and 1, 2, center, 1, 2, 1, 2, center, 1, 2. So it's not big, it's precise. As you can see, I'm smiling. 1 and 1. 1, center, 1, center, 1, center, without the center. It's gonna be 1 and 1. 1 and 1. Keep breathing. Press both of your hands together. 7 and double. So you can keep the gaze to the front and keep going with the rest of the movement, which is griva, neck, chest, and bangi, and hip bangi. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, release. Let's try again. I'm gonna come to you. So we are gonna go straight side to side without the center, okay? So chest to your right. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, side, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm using my Drishti, my eyes, for the moment. Pressing hands and growing taller. 2, 2. Double. 1, 1. Still working with the gaze. Gaze is fixed to the front. Ready? Double. 6, 7, 6, 7. Relax. Okay. Good job. Those movements for me are very intricate and difficult because they are tiny movements coming from the inside, right? Like I think the easiest movements to do are always the biggest ones, and these ones that are very in our inner body are a little bit more difficult. So bravo, good job. Let's stretch together and keep thinking in this oppositional principle because we are really going to work on that so much on the next classes. Let's stretch. Good job, girls. Thank you so much for joining. Inhale. And now exhale and feel the weight of your head going down. Let's stay here in the middle of our body and release. Yes. Feel like you're hanging from your hips. And we've been working so much with the neck and the spine, so just release here. And keep your knees a little bit bent. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale to your belly button. And again, inhale forward. And if you can, just stretch your legs. And exhale. Once more, inhale. And while you're exhaling, just place your hand if you can on the floor or either the feet or your knee, I don't care, and open up the other one. Gaze is following the hand that it's going to the ceiling. Keep breathing and change. Switch one to the other. And breathe. And release. And stay down. And roll it up. Very slow. Inhale. And stretch to the side. Enjoying stretching through the center line to the sides. From the back. And release. So now pay attention to this one. So it's gonna go tall, tall, slide to the side, and then Bring it to your
Om
shoulder
Namah
and release.
Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om
Bring it back
Namah
up, side
Shivaya.
and
Om Namah
release.
Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
And
Om
release.
Namah
Inhale.
Shivaya.
Thank you so much for joining me in this Indoriental first class. Please be aware that English is not my main language, so I'm trying my best and forgive me if I'm doing any mistake. I'm trying to give you all my best always. So I hope to see you on the next class, sending you loves and hugs. Please take care.